Hello, my name is Pamela Harrington.
I'm Brandy Giacoletti.
And welcome back to Breath of the West Light Talk. Today we are going to be discussing the abundant life. Now, we're all kind of going through this whole coronavirus thing, and one of the biggest things that happened when this whole started is a shortage of toilet paper. Brandy, why do you think there was a shortage of toilet paper?
Because fear. People, honestly, I really don't know what the whole thing behind the toilet paper was, other than people being afraid that there wasn't going to be any. Because you know that when something like this happens, the first thing that can go are necessities, essential items, and toilet paper is an essential item. So it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. Well, see, with me, when I heard about this, the first thing I thought, well, everyone else is going to go buy something because they're going to panic. So I better go out and buy stuff too. So their panic
Right.
led to my panic.
Yes.
Because I have a family, we have 10 people in our house, and a shortage of toilet paper would be a very bad thing. I didn't go out and get a whole bunch, but the thing is, everyone based that reaction out of fear, just like you said.
Yes.
And kind of the scarcity mentality. There's not enough. There's not enough. There's not enough. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that's an attitude that we have in our lives, even in times of plenty, if you think about it. I mean, it can affect every aspect of our life. Like, I'm not enough. I don't have these things. I don't have these qualities. I don't have these abilities. I'm just not good enough. And in a way, that's a scarcity mentality too. Because we have this fear that we're not going to measure up to some imagined level that we think that we should be. And are we all perfect? No. But at the same time, what's the best way to counteract fear? Randy, go ahead.
I also wanted to add really quickly that scarcity comes also, sometimes it's not just that the fear that we're not going to have enough or be enough, but the fear that there's not enough room for me, that there's not enough space for me. I've been dealing with that a lot lately. That because one can succeed in the same area I want to succeed in means that I can't succeed in that area too. And that is a mentality of scarcity. And Heavenly Father promised us everything. We can have all that He has. He doesn't say, well, if so-and-so does that, then you can't do that because I don't have enough room for you.
Yeah.
So what was your question, though? What was your question before that?
So how do you counteract fear?
Okay. For me personally, how I counteract fear is with a gratitude practice. I know I talk about that all the time, but that is how I do it, to see what I have and be grateful and be in that space, because gratitude gives you a higher energy frequency that you can live at. And if you stay in gratitude, then you're kind of staying in that abundance. You're already seeing everything that you have instead of looking at what you don't have. So it's important to, whatever can help you get out of that scarcity, if it's gratitude or whatever. But for me, it's gratitude, and also living like we already have what we want. I noticed that in the scriptures the last few weeks as we've been studying in Mosiah in the Book of Mormon, that the people lived as though that Christ had already come, even though He didn't come. And I think that's very, very, very important part of being abundant, is living as though we already have, as though we already are, because we really are if we look at everything that we have, or everyone that we have in our life.
Yeah, because I think we set these expectations in our mind, and we have to realize that those are things that we set our expectations, and that doesn't mean that's the way things are going to happen, or those are the things that they're supposed to be, because, you know, can we control everything?
Right.
No, we really can't. But sometimes, you know, we put it in our mind as if we can control everything. This is what I need. This is what I want. This is what I'm supposed to be. And when we fall short, then that can cause depression. I know I feel when I fall short, I go kind of into my depression mode.
Yes.
And back to what you were saying earlier about, you want to do something, but you see all these other people doing it. I do that all the time. It's like, I want to try this one thing, but there's so many people out there that are doing so much better than I am.
Right.
And I want to give up because there's just not enough room for me. But then I have to go back. Why am I doing it? Am I doing it to become popular? Am I doing it to get rich? And when I realize I'm trying to do this because it's something I enjoy, this is a talent that I have or I'm trying to develop, then I realize, I might, like when I write books, I write children's books. They're not the most popular books out there. And you know what? In the end, it's okay because it's a message I felt like I wanted to write. I had fun doing it. I think they're really good. But just because I'm not famous or I'm not gaining millions of dollars of sales, that doesn't mean it's a waste of my time.
Yes, that's important, where we put our worth. I think that's, going back to what you said, a part of scarcity. Am I enough or I'm not enough? So where is our worth? Is it on how many likes we have or how much abundance we have? Or does our worth just come from knowing who we are and our relationship with our Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ?
Yeah, there you go. And that was one other thing I wanted to touch on is faith. I have a little story real quick. My husband and I were kind of in between places at one time, and he wasn't working. And we were going to go up to Utah to go stay with my grandmother for a while. And I had $5 in my pocket. I don't know how I got that, but we were traveling up through Navajo Reservation area, and we went to a gas station. And this lady came up to me, and she said, "Do you have $5 so we can fill up our thing? I'll give you this bracelet." And I was like, I have $5 in my pocket, but I don't know when I'm going to get money again. So, I told her, no, I really can't. I'm sorry. And I felt guilty ever since then because it's like I had $5, but I didn't have faith that I was going to be okay later on. It's like, missed opportunity right there. So
I love that you shared that because I was just talking about this a few weeks ago with someone. Sometimes we don't give or share because of that scarcity mentality. We're afraid that if we give or we share what we have, then we're losing out. Then we won't have that anymore. But that's not true. The Lord has promised us that, and like you said, that's where faith comes in. The Lord has promised us that when we give, we're given back so much more than that. And I'm not necessarily in dollar bills or in the thing that we gave away, but he takes care of that. And I know I have a testimony of that. I know that to be true. That when we stop having that scarcity mentality, that fear that, if I give this, then I won't have enough, and start having faith that if I give this, then I'm helping somebody else and more comes back to me. Not that should be our number one reason either, but just having that faith that He'll take care of us.
Yes.
So, and that we just read in the scriptures as well recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. Okay, well, I think that's all the time that we have. So thank you for joining us, and thank you, Brandy, again for your amazing insights. And we will see you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.